Hello, my friends, family, saints, and ain'ts. Happy Thursday. It is May, 8th? My gosh, can hardly believe it. But it's true. It's graduation time. Congratulations to all of you graduates. I'm so proud to say I know several people graduating with their doctorates. That's amazing. This is Radiant Rap, where we talk about things that I believe we need to be healthy and whole. We don't have to have a doctorate degree, but those who have gone on to that level of education, um, kudos. And those of you who are graduating with your master's, amazing. I didn't do that. That's amazing. Undergraduate, graduates, yes, that's awesome. Congratulations. This happens to be National Teacher, I think it's called National Teacher Appreciation Week. It's also National Nurses Week. Shout out to all the nurses. Um, yeah, I don't know what we do without you all. And I'm actually talking with nurses, caring for loved ones on a weekly basis all the time. So I really do appreciate them. And it's children's mental health awareness. I put something on my Facebook page about children's mental health awareness, but that's not what we're talking about today. But that is very important for us to pay attention to our children and what's going on with them. And remember, 988 is a national hotline if there is a crisis, especially like for suicide prevention. Just, we want to be aware of that number. All right. So, how do we see what we see? Like, what you see is what you get. You remember that song? What you see is what you get. How we look at things, how we see things is not as much to do with how the world is, but it has to do with how we see them. I didn't say that right. We don't see, here's the quote, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And Anais Nin was famous for that quote. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Meaning, depending on our perspective, that's how we'll see the world. So, for example, if I see a rose and you see the thorn, the flower didn't change. The rose is still the rose, but I'm focusing on the flower, and or it could be me focusing on the thorn and you focusing on the rose, right? If it's raining outside, I could be focusing on, man, it's raining outside. I'm ticked off because it's raining outside. And you might be saying, I'm grateful because we need the rain. And that's, what we need. We need rain, and which we do. And so one of the recommendations that I gave on this article that I wrote recently for the WOW for self-care and mental health was just that. I specifically talked about practicing visualization, but as part of, or the bigger part of visualization is how we are thinking about things. And I know this is something that I have to practice. I've gotten better at it, I can say, but I still have to practice my thinking and my thoughts, how I say what I say, and how I think about things. And I was reminded of that today. One of my friends passed away, and during the service today, there were reflections about how he was always positive and which is true, wanting us to rephrase how we would say things. And one of the examples that his sister or his daughter gave was saying, "I'm confused." One of his daughters gave, saying, "I'm confused." And instead of saying, "I'm confused," ask for clarification. And so that particular example sticks out today because I was on the phone just like an hour ago. "I'm confused." I must have said it like 3 times until I realized I was saying it. And then I said, "Well, what I mean is I need clarification." So I definitely have work to do in terms of how I look at things. Sometimes I can go into the worry, which was another quote that he uses. It's not his quote, and I forget whose quote it is, but the quote is a great quote. "Worry is interest on a debt you may never owe." And that was one of my friend's favorite quotes. And so it was really a good homegoing service, but it fit right into the practice of visualization, and just in terms of how we want to see things happen. And we can do that as part. It's another form of meditation, really, as part of our practice. Instead of thinking about the worst that could happen, being open to playing out things in a more positive way, how we want to show up, how it is when we walk into a room. Maybe we're nervous about an interview or something like that, and we visualize ourselves walking into the room with confidence and being articulate and being able to express ourselves in a professional way, and just going through the whole thing, the interview, getting the job, as opposed to focusing on all the negative things that might happen. They might not like me, they might not pick me, all of the, instead thinking of the things in a positive way. Same with like maybe a conversation, making up with someone that maybe you had a disagreement with, actually thinking of a good outcome, or looking at, again, the positive side, or the fact that what we're worrying about may not even happen anyway. So it's important because practicing visualization, the way our perspective of how we see things in a positive light, or looking at the cup half full as opposed to half empty, which my nature is to make sure I've covered all the bases, to not be disappointed, like that, just being a practical person. That's what we use as an excuse for why we have to think about all these scenarios. But it's very detrimental, and it's not good for our overall well-being and health. Why not look at the cup half full? And over the years, I've done a lot better at that. And some people say, I'm really positive. I am working at it. I am wanting to be that person, and I am seeing myself as that person. And God says that I am that person. And he says that you are too. So for us to believe otherwise is not the truth. We may not be walking in our potential, but we have that potential. So 3 things: become more aware of your thoughts. What'll happen if we're really paying attention to what it is that we're thinking, we may still do the same things like I did today. "I'm so confused," right after I just heard it. But I caught myself, and then I was able to correct. So being more aware of my thoughts, more aware of my words, You might complain. I'm challenging everyone, including myself, just not complain. How about that? Just not complain. And come from a, a space of gratitude, and then self-correct. So when in the beginning, when we're trying to establish these new habits, we still will do the old thing, but you'll start to correct yourself more. You'll start to become more aware of it. Then you'll start to self-correct more, and then you'll start to get into the habit where you don't have to self-correct because you're doing the thing. How about that? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Are you a half cup empty person or a half cup full person? Do you find that you are a complainer, a doubter, a worrier? Is that something you need to work on? Let's work on it together, because you have greatness inside of you. I believe in you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a great week. Happy Mother's Day, too. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms of children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, all the mothers, all of us women in this world are the mothers of the world. So happy Mother's Day. Bye.